You ever look up at a skyscraper and wonder how'd they build that thing? Me too. It's a mix of engineering genius and good old-fashioned hard work. But none of it happens without cement. Cement is the glue that holds concrete together, and concrete is the foundation of our modern world. From sidewalks to skyscrapers, it's everywhere. Now, I'm not talking about the stuff you buy in bags at the hardware store. That's just one part of the puzzle. Real deal cement production is a massive operation. A carefully choreographed dance of heavy machinery, scorching heat and tons of dust. It's not glamorous, but it's essential. Trust me, I've been there. We're talking about taking raw materials, rocks basically, and turning them into a fine powder that, when mixed with water, becomes harder than a loan shark's heart. It's alchemy, but instead of turning lead into gold, we're turning mountains into megacities. Let's break down how it's done. Cement starts with humble beginnings. Rocks. Not just any rocks, mind you. We're talking limestone, clay, and sometimes things like shale or iron ore. These ingredients are carefully chosen to get the right chemical makeup for strong, durable cement. These raw materials are usually mined or quarried, then transported to the cement factory. Imagine giant dump trucks hauling massive boulders, their tires kicking up dust clouds. It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it. And by someone, I mean giant machines. We're talking excavators that could crush a car like a soda can, and conveyor belts stretching for miles. Once the raw materials arrive at the factory, the real fun begins. The first step is crushing those massive rocks into smaller, more manageable pieces. Think of it like a giant food processor, but instead of carrots and celery, it's pulverizing boulders into gravel. This is where things get loud. We're talking ear-splitting crashes as giant metal teeth chew through tons of rock. The air is thick with dust and the ground vibrates with the power of the machinery. It's a sensory overload, and we're just getting started. The crushed rock then goes through a series of grinders, getting finer and finer, until it's a powder called raw meal. This stuff is so fine, it'll make flour look chunky. Now it's time to crank up the heat, literally. The raw meal is fed into a massive rotating furnace called a kiln. This isn't your backyard barbecue, folks. We're talking temperatures hotter than a volcano, around 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit. Inside the kiln, the raw meal undergoes a chemical transformation, like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. The intense heat fuses the materials together, creating a new substance called clinker. Clinker looks like dark, clumpy pebbles, and it's tough as nails. It's the key ingredient in cement, and it's what gives concrete its strength. Section 5. Cooling down and getting ready. Fresh out of the kiln, the clinker is scorching hot. Trying to handle it would be like trying to grab a handful of glowing coals. Not a good idea. So, the clinker is sent through a cooling process, where giant fans blast it with air, bringing the temperature down to a more manageable level. Once cooled, the clinker is stockpiled, ready for the final stage of its transformation. It's like a pit stop before the big race. But this is no time to relax. The clinker is just one ingredient away from becoming the cement we know and rely on. Section 6. The final grind, making cement. Remember that fine powder we started with, the raw meal? Well, it's time to introduce it to its long-lost cousin, the clinker. They're about to have a family reunion, and you're invited. The clinker is ground one last time, this time with a small amount of gypsum. Gypsum helps control the setting time of the cement so it doesn't harden too quickly. This final grinding process creates the fine grey powder we know as cement. It's the moment of truth, the culmination of all that crushing, grinding and baking. Section 7. Bag it up, packaging and shipping. Freshly ground cement is thirsty. If it gets wet, it'll start to harden, and nobody wants a truckload of concrete surprise. So the cement is quickly packaged into airtight bags or pumped into special airtight containers. From there, it's shipped all over the world, ready to be mixed with water, sand, and aggregate to create the concrete that builds our roads, bridges, and buildings. It's the circle of life, cement style. Section 8. Building green sustainable cement. Now I know what you're thinking. All this crushing and grinding and baking must be tough on the environment, and you're right. Traditional cement production does have a big carbon footprint, but the industry is changing. Companies are finding new ways to make cement more sustainable. They're using alternative fuels and raw materials, reducing energy consumption, and developing new technologies to capture and reuse carbon emissions. It's a work in progress, but the future of cement is looking a little greener. Section 9, the hard work behind concrete jungles. So the next time you walk by a construction site or drive across a bridge, take a moment to appreciate the humble but mighty material that made it all possible. Cement. It's a testament to human ingenuity and a reminder that even the most impressive structures start with a little dirt and a lot of hard work. And to all the folks out there working in the cement industry, from the quarries to the kilns, I salute you. It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it. And thanks to you, our world keeps on building.